All right. Now, when you come up to a seated position and your back is not feeling very flexible or you're having a little bit of pain, make sure that you help yourself up to a seated position. All right, so we're actually going to go into a nice stretch now. So the style of stretching that we're doing is called contract and relax. The idea is that you contract the muscle so that when you release it, it relaxes a bit more so that you can stretch a little bit further. Now, first of all, have your legs straight. Bring one knee into the chest and then stretch it straight up. If that's quite difficult for you to hold that position, then you need to bend this bottom leg for the stretch. So if you're starting this way, hopefully, with practice, you'll be able to stretch that leg out a little bit more without struggling to hold the leg up. All right, so let's place the strap around the arch of the foot, just around maybe the ball of the foot. And I'm going to take my arms at length and slide my hands down till my elbows are pretty close to the floor so that I can relax my neck and shoulders. I'm going to bring the strap, I'm just going to pull gently on the strap like I'm doing a bicep curl. And then I'm going to press that leg away, straightening the arms all the way, and then push into that strap like you're trying to break it. But check your neck should be relaxed. Pull it back in. Stretch and breathe. Now your breathing can be quite natural here. When you exhale, press it away and exhale to push further into it. Hold that for about 5 seconds. But check your neck, keep checking the neck and shoulders. Pull back in and stretch a little bit further this time. Good. Now I'm going to add to this. And what I want to do is release some tension from the strap. And I want to try to pull that leg into me. I can even take my hand and push against that hand. So I'm trying to bring my leg this way. Good. And then press it away. I want to make sure I add that in a few times. Bring it back in. Give yourself a stretch. And then working the thigh, hand up here, hand on your thigh, push in, trying to flex the hip. Working the hip flexors actually. Okay, and we're going to change. When you change legs, you can just slot that other foot in and then drop that foot. All right, repeating this on this side. I'm going to add a stretch. Keep your foot neutral. Now, if you need more stretch, you can pull your toes back. These are reminders for later. And remembering that this doesn't serve as your entire workout, you can do more reps than this. And your recommended repetitions are either written on your sheet or I have suggested them to you. Generally 5 to 8 repetitions of this kind of work would be great for a warm-up. Or even just to relax at the end of a day. Now I'm going to bring it here and stretch. And then press it away. Exhale. Push into the strap. Feel the hamstrings. I want you to feel these muscles back here working. Pull back in. Stretch a little bit. Good. And now let's add that other part of the thigh work. Pushing the thigh against the hand. You're going to feel your abdominals here too. Make sure you're not raising your shoulder right up. Keep it down. Push into it. Push into the strap. Breathe and bring it back. A little bit more if you can. And then add the thigh push. Push in, push in, push in. Relaxing the neck. And we're going to change legs again. This time, we're going for a stretch down the tendons and the muscles of the outside of the lower leg and into this long tendon in the side of the thigh called the IT band. So you can keep the strap separate hands or you can gather it up. Depends on what's comfortable for you, okay? So here we go. I'm going to pull that leg in a bit. I want to try to straighten the knee. Pull that leg across. And I'm finding the stretch right there, okay? So feeling the stretch right up that thigh and even up into the hip. Now let's change that a little bit. I'm going to watch my foot carefully. I'm going to turn the toes inward to get those ankle muscles, the muscles and tendons around the ankle. And then bring it across more if you can. Breathe. Center it up and change legs. You can repeat these a few times, especially if these are really tight. So I'm here. Drop the leg to the point where you can stretch the knee all the way straight, not bent. Okay. And then we're going to bring that leg across the midline. Bring the inner thighs together. That will help you. Breathe. Find the stretch. If you can go a little bit more, pull up on it. And then let's invert that foot. Turn the big toe inward, feeling the stretch. Maybe a little bit more toward the ankle. And pull up and breathe. And then bring it back to the center. Good. And release. Good. Rock just a little bit, side to side. And then we're going to come up to our hands and knees. Now the other thing I want to mention, if your neck is tight and you tend to be lying in a position like this, a little bit out of neutral, sometimes the only way to get to neutral is to either get a little towel or fold up the end of your mat to prop your head up just that little bit. Okay? So just so that you feel like you're one straight line. Okay? I'm going to roll to our side. Come up to hands and knees for our quadruped exercise. Okay? Now, like the hands, right underneath the shoulders, elbows slightly bent. So you want the creases of the elbows facing each other. Knees are right underneath your hip bones and shoulders are down. So I feel like I'm getting longer again through the top of the head and through the tailbone. So there's this energy being created, a lengthening energy. Breathe. As you exhale, lift just your right hand off of the floor. Then just lift the left knee just barely off the floor, and it really doesn't look like I'm doing much at all. And then change sides. Left hand. Now make sure your wide fingers are pushing and grabbing the floor. Okay, so left hand and right knee. Now, your back is like a table. Sometimes this is called tabletop. Change sides. And your core muscles are the only thing that are keeping your back straight. If they weren't working, you would sink. Okay? Lift again. And you can repeat these as long as it feels okay on your wrists. Change. Inhale. Exhale. Hold for a couple of breaths if you can. Repeat that at least 8 times. What I'm going to do is show you to stretch, remind you to stretch the wrists. Show you a couple of stretches. Okay, so stretch the wrists the other way. Pull fingers down. Hold the first maybe 2 or 3 fingers and pull gently. Pull gently towards you. And other one. Very good. Okay, the next one is the diamond press. This is a really important exercise for relaxing the spine. Okay. Now onto the tummy. Take your feet apart a little bit wider than your hips. Move up. Okay. And then let your knees sort of roll in and your feet roll in, because we don't want to use the glutes on this exercise. We'll use them on the next exercise. Okay. Make a diamond shape with your hands, bringing your thumbs and your index fingers together. Bring your eyebrows on top of your thumbs. Take a nice deep breath. First we're doing an abdominal bridge. What that means is you're drawing your belly button away from the floor, and then you're trying to relax the rest of the body. So you actually are performing a bit of a pelvic tilt. You're drawing your zipper towards your chin, just a little bit. Hold that position. Now breathe again. Exhale. And draw it in again, just to make sure. Abdominals are on, glutes are relaxed. Lift your eyes and look at your thumbs. From here I'm going to slide my shoulders back and down. Have a look. And then I'm going to press with the heels of my hands. Now it's all about the abs because I'm pressing up dead weight. Really just lift the elbows off. Keep the shoulders down, long neck, abdominals in. It's tough. And then come back down when you get too fatigued. Inhale. Exhale, abdominals in and a bit of pelvic floor as well. Shoulders down, press, take another breath so that you can come up a little bit higher. Really draw the abs in. You'll know you're doing it correctly if your abs are really in and your shoulders keep sliding downward and wide. Wide elbows and shoulders. Come on down. Boy, those are tough. I'm going to do it one more time with you and let you work on this about 5 more reps. Breathe. Exhale, abdominals, draw them in, shrink the waistline. Look at the hands. Press with the hands, but pull the shoulders down and back. Keep the abs in. Check that you're not squeezing in the glutes, and down you come. Good. Now we're going to stay here for the next exercise, and we're going to do hip extensions. So I'm going to bring my legs into more alignment, in line with the hips. The first thing I'm going to do is go back to that abdominal bridging, pulling the abs in, but this time I want you to press your pubic bone and your hip bones into the floor so your glutes activate. And I'm going to lengthen. All I'm doing is just lengthening one leg, and then I'm lengthening the other leg, keeping the abdominals drawn in very well and the hips pressed down so that there's no movement in the torso. Now lengthen your right leg, hold it, and just lift that leg only as high as you're using your glutes. So you keep pulling your abdominals away from the mat, and down it comes. So really trying to stay out of the back here. Lengthen the leg, press the pubic bone down into the floor as you just lift that leg a little bit, because I want this to be relaxed. And change. So you should be able to get your hand, almost get your hand underneath the stomach a little bit. Good. So it's lengthen and lift. Now check your neck and shoulders, because generally you're going to get concentrating too much and then you start using your shoulders. So keep checking the shoulders. And you definitely could do about 8 on each leg. I'm going to press up to a table position again and do a cat stretch. And then peel it back out. Shoulders, let the shoulders sink together. And then in contrast, draw the abdominals in and press away. Very good. Now, we have one more thing to do. You can do this any time to relax your spine. Arms out to the side. Your feet are together, but you don't have to squeeze the legs tight together. We're just going to rock the knees side to side. It's very gentle. And we're going to keep that pendulum movement really small for the lower back. Once I start to get the movement becomes bigger, then I'm getting up into the mid back and the upper back. The muscles will be stretched higher up the spine. Okay? And that's it for now. Enjoy.